particles which are stored in a DNA communicate extremely efficiently with the cell of the organism, thus playing a vital role in regulating the organism's function. एक सेल दूसरे सेल से एनर्जी से बात करता है। उन्होंने बायोफोटोन बताया। इस चीज़ को अपनी ऑर्गेनन और अपने हनीमैन सर की दी हुई जो विजडम है उसके साथ 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 जोड़ के चलना, ठीक। सो दीज बायोफोटोन्स कैन बी डिटेक्टेड by an extremely sensitive camera designed to measure their emissions. The stronger the emission, as well as more intense and coherent the light field, the greater communication between the cell and the organism is a healthy one. अब इसको पढ़ो aphorism 9 को, which is a definition of a health in our organelle. अभी मैम पढ़ के गए ना, vital force keeping the organism in a harmonious rhythm to do all the functions for free the mind. ऐसे ही लिखा ना। So in order to sustain life and health, our cell communicate with each other by exchanging the information transmitted on different frequencies of light. अभी सेल है, सेल एक एनर्जी को एमिट कर रहा है टू कम्युनिकेट विद अनदर सेल at a certain frequency. सिंपल सी बात है, सिंपल सा फिनोमेना। अभी अगर वो एनर्जी बहुत अच्छी जा रही है, कोहेरेंट वे में जा रही है, रिदम से जा रही है, तो ऑर्गेनिज्म आपका हेल्दी है। पर अगर वो नहीं जाएगी तो when a cell does not emit organized and coherent electromagnetic energy, the cell becomes unhealthy. It is not able to share information with other cell very well, and without that exchange, it does not have what it need. For example, हमारे लंग्स फंक्शन कर रहे हैं, नॉर्मल फंक्शन कर रहे हैं, नॉर्मल रिदम में फंक्शन कर रहे हैं, ऑक्सीजन ले रहे हैं, ठीक है ना, ब्लड को प्योरीफाई कर रहे हैं, ट्रांसमिशन हो रहा है, सब कुछ हो रहा है, ब्लड सर्कुलेट हो रहा है। बट सडनली और फ्रॉम स्टडीली वी गेट अप सम थॉट or some threat, some fear, तो उनकी जो फंक्शनिंग है लंग्स की, क्या वो वैसी रह जाती है? The transmission of energy changes, the frequency of that energy changes. So the electromagnetic energy that cell emits and receives is the force that governs the molecules. So what he said, so that very concluded, so what they concluded in effect is that we are quite literally being of a light, each radiating a vital energy, vital force, and expressing an actual light field around our bodies, the totality of each cell expressing and contributing to the field of light that carries a message at a certain frequency. What he said. और अभी ये बात हनीमैन सर ने आज से 250 साल पहले बता दी. But we could not give value to the wisdom, to the organon. We are just सुबह जाते हैं क्लिनिक पे, हनीमैन सर की फोटो लगी हुई है ना, कोई एक कदम उसके भी आगे जाता है, वो कोई एक कदम उसके भी आगे जाता है, देसी घी का दिया जलाता है, ठीक है ना, पर वो ऑर्गेनन एक तरफ पड़ी की ही पड़ी है. अभी इसको ध्यान से समझिए जो अभी पीछे पढ़ के आए हैं. द कंसेप्ट ऑफ अ डिजीज. व्हेन अ पर्सन फॉल्स इल, it is only this spiritual self-acting automatic vital force everywhere present in his organism, जिसकी अभी बात की है, बायोफोटोन एनर्जी इमिट करते हैं, ठीक, that is primarily deranged by the dynamic influence upon it of a morbific agent which are inimical to life. It is the only vital force deranged to such an abnormal state that can furnish the organism with its disagreeable sensation and incline it to the irregular processes, which we called a disease. That means the energy which is doing their function in a very rhythmic way, rhythm से, पर primarily deranged by, primarily not a secondarily, primarily deranged by the dynamic influence, not by matter, not by eating some contaminated food, ठीक है ना, not by drinking something contaminated, only by a dynamic influence. पर होता तो उसी से है. हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि होता तो कंटेमिनेशन से ही है, पर यहाँ तो लिखा नहीं है. तो दैट मीन्स समथिंग प्राइमली डीरेंज्ड बाय द डायनेमिक इन्फ्लुएंस, देन सेकेंडरी इफेक्ट इज अ कंटेमिनेशन. So everything is made up of energy that is vibrating at a certain frequency. अभी आप the molecule and atom that are vibrating at a certain frequency, binding it together and creating a certain matter. Different matter had a different vibrational frequency. Is that clear? Now take a concept of a Hahnemann sir of a individualization. What Dr. Hahnemann sir said, every person is a individual entity. So every person, every constitution emitting a different type of a frequency. We come to stage, there is a different frequency. Ma'am come to a stage, there is a different frequency. I come to a stage, there is a different frequency. When there is a facilitation is going on, there is a different frequency. So every person emitting a different frequencies. So if you could go into your subconscious and create certain patterns, infuses it with energy that is vibrating at certain frequency, you can attract things of a similar nature. अभी सबसे पहली स्लाइड पे चलिए. जो मांगे ठाकुर अपने ते, सोई सोई देवे. If you want something, if you want to be a something, some matter, you have to change your frequency to that level. If you understood the lecture of ma'am, what she said, there is a different level of consciousness from lower to a higher, which is a human consciousness, and human consciousness has the ability to change, ability to transcendence to a creator, to a absolute. यही था ना सारा. So it is, just take a one example, आपको clear हो जाएगा. Just take a example of a radio. You see the radio, old radio, not a car radio. चलो car radio भी. If you want to listen the Delhi station or a Bombay station or a Lucknow station or a Surat station, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Change the frequency. That means every frequency is available in the air. Every frequency is available in the air. You just have to tune that radio to that frequency. In a similar analogy, every emotion is available to you. You should have to change your organism's frequency to go to that level. If some delegates from Chandigarh, which we conduct a national seminar at Delhi ISKCON temple, where we study the kinesiology, which is given by Dr. Hawkins. Every emotion has a frequency, right from a lower shame to guilt to grief, to fear, to love. Remember? So you have to change your frequency to get that thing. और जिन्हों ने चेंज की, अभी मैटर की बात कर लो. अभी सर ने रतन टाटा की बात की थी, बिल गेट्स की बात कर लो, अंबानी अडानी की बात कर लो, जो भी आपको शख्सियत जिसकी मर्जी बात कर लो, है ना. See the life of that person. They come from a very down levels. They are just changing their frequencies. Energy does not know what is good for you and what is not good for you. You are on that frequency, and if we are a frequency of a neglection, we are a frequency of Self-devaluation, if we are a frequency of unworthiness, we get a surrounding of that type of a frequency.